God. 5, 4. Jesus. You're going to make me do this. You're going to make me do this? All right. Here I come. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to everyone. I hope you're all having a good time. BK is taking the night off. She's out getting me some grub. And then when she gets back, she's going to be dyeing yarn for the blue box double box set, which is coming out on Saturday. So Saturday night here at this channel, 6:30, we're going to have a launch party for the blue box. 60 years of Doctor Who crammed into 10 or 12 skeins, depending on whether or not you're a patron. You'll enjoy it. It'll be really nice. Well, that's really loud. That music's really loud. How's everybody today? Let me turn, the volume in my earphone, my headset is not great, so let me turn that up a little bit. All right. Now I can hear the music in the background. I can hear myself talk. Who all's here today? Let's see. So many high TKs. Emily, Bubble Toes, Crochet Hook, Megan, T. Lambert, Rat, Yarn Pirate, Moonbow, Arts and Crafts, Winter's Eve, Tina Hooper, Queen of the Banshee, Michi, Elizabeth McInnes, Draka, Lillian Chan, Lillian Chan, Brittany Michelle, and Carmen. I know there are more of you here than that, but here I am. Oh, age, I'm growing out of my thing. I need a bigger smock. I need this bigger smock. Welcome to CraftHole. This is going to be our day show. We did this when we were on Twitch for a little. Oh, look at that. We did this when we were on Twitch for a little bit, and it was great. We did it during the day, probably about 11 o'clock in the morning on the Pacific Coast. Ran for 2-3 hours. This is chill. This is not. I'm not the human cartoon that BK is. This is a very chill stream. Normally, what we do is people have sent us over the last few years boxes out in that workshop of kids crafts, and so a lot of times we'll challenge ourselves by trying to modify a kids craft. Let me see if I can fix this. Nah, I'm not going to fix it. We're just going to have phantom water bottle tonight. Anyway, we try to modify kids crafts. Tonight we're going to do something kind of in that vein. There are other times when we'll just do stuff from scratch, like we'll make little molds out of silicone after we've sculpted something, and then we'll go back in and we'll make a bunch of those sculptures, and then we'll mail them out. All sorts of fun stuff. I'll tell you what we're going to do here in just a minute. Let's see if there's any messages here I need to get to before I get started. I'm Rusty, by the way, in front of the camera. I mean, my name's not Rusty. I'm TK, but you knew that. Happy to finally meet you, Crochet Hook. It's nice to meet you as well. Knit Cat, Rayshana. Yeah, nothing. Everybody's just trying to have a good time tonight, and that's what I need. I was just making sure nobody had any major announcements, like maybe, I don't know, Tina Turner died or something horrible like that, which would make me stop the show right now and just not go on. Anyway, Tina Turner died, and that makes me very, 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 very sad. Tonight, we have a segment called D.I.Why, and we'll look at the art, the brutalist knitting and crocheting art of Tracy Widdess, and we'll talk about that later on today. But let's get around to figuring out this project that we've got for tonight. So we'll do that button. Takes us here. Man, that's so bare. I need stickers. I need fun stuff to, decorate the place. All right, here's the deal. This was BK's idea. I woke up this morning. She said, I sure do wish that I didn't have to do a show tonight because I've got so much yarn to dye in preparation for this product launch. And I said, well, honey, I'll do a show. I'll do a CraftHole because we're going to start in a week or two anyway with CraftHole during the day. I'll do a CraftHole tonight, but I don't have any projects. I didn't pull anything out. I have nothing. And she said, you should get a paint by number kit. And that's all I needed. So I'm gonna introduce you to our paint by number kit tonight. And then I'm going to tell you exactly what we're doing. Look at this. This is a well-known piece of art having something to do with Starry Nights. Y'all know this piece of art, right? Well, this is in a paint by number kit. We're going to unbox it together. It says it has 24 different paints in it. And let me show you this real quick. Let me get this under here. See this? That's the map for this paint by number kit. We're not going to get it finished tonight, but we are going to do this project on and off throughout CraftHole for the next few weeks. All right. This is nice. This little canvas. I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, it's a little fabric canvas. And on that fabric canvas is this amazing piece of art. You could barely make out. It's very, very faint lines. See if you can make that out any better. You see the numbers and everything there. This is what they call an intermediate challenge paint by number kit. I'm calling bullshit on that. This is extreme. Here's a smaller version of this map to help us, I guess. I don't know how that's going to help us, but we'll keep it around. We'll keep it handy. It also comes with instructions on how to hang it, because it comes with a little hanging kit. So once you've painted this beautiful piece of art, you can hang it. We may do that. We'll see. And then finally, the last piece of paper. If your art doesn't look like that when you're done, then you've screwed up. And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do tonight is we're going to screw up on purpose. All right? And it also comes with 24 numbered colors. All right? Numbered 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So these are like a lot. We use a lot of these apparently. And then these are all the rest, the ancillary colors. Comes with a set of paint brushes. And for some reason they also put these rivets that you rivet it to the board with. They put them in the same pack as the paint brushes because save space? I don't know. Let's look at these paint brushes though. See what they gave us. Tubes stuck in there. Let me get these out. All right, we get these tubes back over these brushes to protect them. Ooh, BK would be jealous of some of these brushes. Here's a nice little, here's a broad brush for your larger areas, and then these fine brushes. 24 colors. And you think to yourself, TK, how can we modify a simple paint by number kit to make it worth doing on a craft program? Well, let me tell you. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to roll a D20 and a D4. So that's 2 to 24. Because there are 24 of these colors. Whatever number comes up, we're going to take these colors and we're going to shift them that many numbers. So let's say I roll the D20 and the D4 and my total is 14. All of a sudden, color number 1 becomes color number 14. It's going to be a little screwy because we've got these big ones. We may actually eliminate 1, 2, and 3, just keep them the same, but shuffle these. We're going to shuffle the colors, but we're only going to do it once so that any place that maybe I was supposed to paint that blue is now that burnt umber, that ochre color. That's what we're going to do. So we're just going to see how that process is here. I get big projects because we can be quiet and just do them. And that's what we'll do tonight. Oh, also, zhuzh. We talk about zhuzhing. We're going to zhuzh this with these sparkle glue pens. We're going to assign one of each of these 6 colors to one color in here, but we'll do that later. That'll be our highlight color. All right, I've got these spread out. This is really going to be something else because I'm an old man with old eyes. See if we can't get away with that. All right, we talked about rolling some dice, so let's do that in a second. Random color swap. This is going to be amazing. Well, let's hope so, right? Melody, you're going to go and rest up. Good. Let me do something real quick. I'm going to step over here about 1.5 feet and flip a switch. 1 second. I'm right here. I'm going to turn this off and turn this on. A little warm in this room tonight, so I got my overhead fan going so I don't pass out. We don't want that again, do we? All right, so here's what I'm thinking. Because we've got these 3 as a major color and they think enough to give us 2 of these, 2 of each, what we'll do is we'll reverse these colors. So this is now, no, we'll go off. We'll go off 1 on these. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 1 now. Okay? 2, 3, 1. The rest of them will switch up. So this is 3. Let's just roll a d20 and see what we're going to do for the switch up. So come over here and pull up our dice tray. Here's our dice tray. And we want to roll. We're going to clear that out. We want to roll a d20 and a d4. No, we're clearing out the d4. So let's just roll the d20. All right, what do we get? Boom. Oh, we set a natural 20. I would have dug that. But 10 is cool. So 10 is cool. So here's what we're going to do. Let's get rid of our dice. 10. Remember that. So we're going to start with number 4. Number 4 will now become number 14. Number 14 will now become, it ends with 22, 23, 24. Yeah, so 14 would become number 5. We're eliminating the first 3. So it's a 10 color swap, right? We're going to work out on this. All right, let's give it a shot. Let me get some water with my invisible water gun. How is everybody tonight? What's everybody been up to? I'm sorry that I'm, this was a last minute thing. So we're going to give it a shot. All right, so we said 2, 3, 1, correct? Let's start with these then. We're going to start 2, 3, 1. We're going to start with number 3 as number 1, and we're going to paint in those sections and see how we go. Get plenty of rags. Everybody have plenty of rags handy. All right. This is going to be a mess, right? Look at these. They give you these little tabs, and I'm not real keen on that because you're pushing and squeezing. And when you pop that tab, that paint's going to fly everywhere. God damn it, don't break on me. Oh, come on. Oh, you have to have a gentle hand, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is now color number 1. Let's find out where color number 1 comes into play on this board. I don't have any sticky notes. No, I'll do it. Do I have read any Andy Weir books? I have not read any Andy Weir books, but let me tell you, math drives me crazy. Math. Anytime I have to do math, you will watch me have a little bit of a panic. I am. What's the movie? What was the movie? The Mind movie that Ron Howard did. I have the opposite of that. So math. All right, here we go. Let's find number 1. Here's a big plot of number 1 right here. Let's find a. This is a good medium brush. Let's just go to town. Before we go to town, let's switch our music up. Go. Let's chill out a little bit tonight. All right, we got a little paint on our brush. Let's find a number 1 and just start going. Remember, this is probably going to take us a couple of weeks, and that's the fun thing about CraftHole during the day, is that we get on these projects. We'll work on 2 or 3 projects during one show, and then pick them back up, maybe do 2 of them the next week, and we just have a lot of ongoing things. The idea is just a craft break, right? Just chill out and craft. It's good medication. Just hang Hackers, 1995. I liked Hackers. I thought Hackers was great. Daughter's working on geometry and trigonometry. You're gonna push my panic button here in a minute. Yeah. So the idea with CraftHole, because YouTube has not experienced it yet. We used to do this on Twitch. And there are some people who are just home in the middle of the day, and they'd like a little company. Maybe they want to craft along, come up with something of their own. By the way, Show and Tell is up in the Discord. If you're a member of the Discord, if you're not a member of the Discord, type !Discord. Somebody do that in chat right now for me. And that will get you into our Discord. Head over to Show and Tell. Not fiber-centric tonight like it would normally be on a Boss Kitty live night. This is crafts. And I came up with a couple of examples I was talking to you all about today. If you have a kid that maybe went to summer camp, made you a macaroni necklace, dig that thing out, take a picture of it, post it. Silly crafts are what we like. That's what we are about. If you take crafting too seriously, then you've missed the whole point, right? So we'll also have some games, but we haven't figured any of them out yet. We want to make them different than the Boss Kitty games, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take my time painting because, and you can't really see it. I guess you can if you squint. Here, let me... There's just some very fine lines, very thin areas to get around. Ultimately, while I do want it to be fun, I don't want it to be sloppy. It doesn't have to be perfect. Staying inside the lines, not so bad. If your art and your craft is intentionally going outside of the lines, I admire that as well. See that tonight when we do D.I.Why. Look at Tracy's work and her reimagining of masks and balaclava. If you don't know what brutalism is it's an accepted type of art style of assemblage, but it actually started in architecture. And it is more about the materials and how you can assemble the materials, the construction via deconstruction. So, I don't know if anybody has seen this week the news articles about Jay-Z and Beyonce's new house. Go look at pictures of that. That is a brutalist mansion. It is just all windows and concrete. So when I talk about brutalism in knitting and crocheting, you can only imagine what you'll get to see tonight. This brush may be a little small for what I'm working on. So let me try it. Let me move up. Looking good. TK, thank you, little brat. I appreciate that. I'm just going to assume that you're not the little brat that Ice Cube discovered those many years ago. I'll assume you're a different little brat. This works real well with a broader brush. Get quiet on CraftHole. Promise you, during the day it's so great. It's just chill. Folks have the music on in the background. I might not talk for a couple of minutes. If I've seen High Rise, the apartment building is very much brutalism. Yeah. The city hall that they built in Dallas, Texas in the early 1980s is a brutalist building. Very much concrete. Two stories about the city hall in Dallas, Texas. And they're not very far apart. One year, 1984, the Republican National Convention was being held in Dallas, and I was just a little punk rock kid. Punk rock 16, 17-year-old TK in Dallas, Texas, and they were having, they decided to schedule an outdoor concert with the Dead Kennedys and a number of other bands called Rock Against Reagan, and it took place in the square outside of City Hall where they were having the Republican National Convention that year. So I do remember that, but also if you've ever seen RoboCop, I'm talking about the original Peter Weller RoboCop. Is Paul Verhoeven? I think Paul Verhoeven directed RoboCop. Somebody look that up for me. Anyway, the Dallas City Hall there stood in for the corporation building that was supposed to be in Detroit. See that? We got off on a tangent. Fill the major space and then come back in with my finer brush. This might be a project that we finish by fall. We'll see. We will see. This is aggressively relaxing. That is me. I am aggressively relaxing. I will shake you by the shoulders until you calm down. Because that works, right? It works every time. You got somebody, you know, having a tough time, just shake them by the shoulders. There are going to be times, because there are so many little segments here, that there will be times when I will put away a color only to discover that I have 5 or 6 more over here somewhere. I'll just get back to them. I'm just going to take them little sections at a time. BK is dyeing box sets like a champ. That's what's happening tonight, Samantha Stewart. I know it can be jarring for some folks, tuning in, expecting to see their one and only. Okay. Oh, but there's some fine lines. I'm sorry, if I get my head in there, it goes out of focus. So let me move back here. There are some super fine lines, and I'm like, why did I stop painting there? And it's just because I couldn't see the line. When's the last time anybody here did a paint by number kit? I cannot remember the last time. It really had to be when I was a kid. Paint by number kits were big when I was a kid, because they shut us up for a good amount of time. Plus, they also help with hand-eye coordination. They can help you become a better painter, really, if you're starting out, believe it or not. They can help you kind of get an eye for how color plays with colors next to it. Bubbles, thank you. It's a huge head of hair. it's all well and good too. In the winter, it keeps my head very warm, but in the summer, I'll go for a morning walk and just, I will, sweat will pour off the top of my head like Rudy Giuliani. Really not a good look. Finished with this one. This is one section of what they labeled number 1. I will be fascinated. I am fascinated. I will be over the moon to see how this turns out. This is like there's a technique that you use when you process color film, and you can do it digitally too. It's called cross processing. And it does this. It changes the colors. It just swaps colors for other colors. Doing a little manual cross processing. Slide this over here. Make it easier on both of us. That way I won't be right over the top of it. I dye my hair. I wish I dyed my hair. There's nothing that my hair will do. It will not take dye. I guess I could dye it like jet black, but honestly, it would not stay. Color is never held in my hair. It's just thick. It's just thick. It just there's so much hair before you ever get to the roots. Okay. Tighten it up a little bit. That is one section that was marked number 1. Let's see if we can find another one of those sections in this area. Do a little more while we're here. Cut off 18 inches of hair last month. Yarn Pirate, Jesus. Where did it go? Did you feed it to the kids? Still thick, but it's helping as the weather heats up. Yeah, just, I will dye. So all of my male relatives, all of them, all of my male relatives, paternal and maternal, they all died in their 90s with big, thick, full heads of hair. So when you bury me, my fingernails, my beard, and my hair will continue to grow, and I will be the envy of, I don't know, whatever pit they stick me in. All right, let's get back here. This is kind of like James Gunn hair, almost. I wish my hair turned white, though. That dude's hair turned white like that, and it's not going to happen. The beard is already mostly white. BK is dyeing her life away tonight. That's right. Jinxie Doll, I get that myself. Have half your head shaved, and when it's down, it still looks like a full head of hair. I love it. Let's go. Thick-haired people, unite. BK is a thin-haired person, like just baby fine hair. So it really doesn't do anything. She tries to curl it. It looks really nice for a couple of hours, and that's about it. Why you just added yourself? I've done that. BK, yes. All right, so Samantha, we already got that one. After 2 kids and turning 40, your hair is very thin. I didn't know that that's how that worked, but makes sense. Sure. You just traded one set of hormones for another. Found another section marked 1. Placing it with our new... Whoa! Was that me? Yeah, that's me. So I gotta sit... Let me sit back. Just lean into this. Yeah, I'm not used to being in this seat. It's been quite some time. I am normally the guy that sets up the camera, lights the studio, makes sure the BK can be heard, takes the photographs, puts together the thumbnails, all that stuff. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you do for Boss Kitty? And I told them flat out, if it isn't dyeing yarn or hosting Boss Kitty Live, my word, I'm so sorry about that. If it isn't dyeing yarn or hosting Boss Kitty Live, then I do it. And now I'm hosting Boss Kitty Live, so I'm just yarn dyeing away from doing everything. Poor BK. My dad and I have super thick hair. My mom has very thin hair. Hated it when the whole family would get haircuts together. You know what my dad and I hated? My dad and I have the same middle name, obviously the same last name, and our first names, same amount of letters, and they sound identical. They're not the same, but they sound identical. And we would hear my mother shouting a full name from the other room, and we would know that one of us was in trouble, but neither of us would respond. That's what we hated. Here's a big section of 1. Let me get to this section of 1. My pizza has arrived, by the way. I hear BK crashing through the door. Boy, oh boy, she pulled out just a sample for me the other day. She pulled out the yarn for the 13th doctor. So Jodie Whittaker's doctor. She brought that color in to show me, and she didn't have to tell me who it was. That's how good it was. She tossed it down on the table, and I went, oh, that's 13. And it was. So if they all play out like this, you guys are going to love this kit, this set, as much or more than any set you've had before. So keep it in mind. The launch is Saturday, 6:30 for our patrons. We're going to have a launch party for everyone, so you can come, check out the set, see the colors, the whole bit. But for the first 48 hours, the sale will be restricted to patrons. Now here's what that does for patrons. It means that while their orders will be pre-orders just like everyone else's, we do have yarn on hand, undyed yarn on hand. So those folks, those patrons that order their box sets, they will get their completed sets before the general public does, simply because once the general public starts ordering, we're going to have to order more yarn from our supplier so that we can dye up the box sets for public consumption. So if you've ever deliberated about becoming a patron, there's one of the many perks. 48 hours on all new product launches. We do sometimes do like our grab bags. This happened with our grab bags a couple of months ago. We keep all of our one-off yarns, all of our testers, anything that turned out good but isn't exactly what we wanted in the shop, we'll hang on to those. And then we put them all together in grab bags, random grab bags, and we sell those. Well, because patrons have a 48-hour exclusive for any of that stuff, anything that goes on sale like that. Generally, and this time is proof of that, they'll sell out. So there were no grab bags available for public consumption this time around. BK has just barged into the room. I couldn't come up with another word for it. It's very forceful, startling. Brought me a soda. I'm not even a soda drinker. But it's Diet Dr. Pepper, and I will commit war crimes for a Diet Dr. Pepper. And then some za, which I will mute my mic here in a second and have a... No, need a fork and knife? Well, need a fork and knife. Yes, you like this? Look at all these. Look at all these. Our shift is 10, but our first 3 colors, we're actually just rotating 1. So this is 2, 3, and 1. So now we're doing number 1 with the color that was originally... Does any of this make sense to you? Okay, well. Everyone here is enjoying their time. I got a tag. Somebody tagged, and it might have been Yarn Pirate, said that this show is aggressively relaxing. So I'm going to use that as my tagline for this program moving forward. Terrifyingly relaxing, BK says. Why don't you go dye some yarn and prove to me, these people, that I'm not a liar? All right, you do that. Thank you, darling, though. I appreciate it. Thank you for the pizza. Yeah. All right. The whole conversation, y'all weren't privy to that end of it, but wasn't the smartest conversation I've ever had. Let's just put it that way. Samantha Stewart says, hello, Boss Kitty. She can't hear me. She's in the other room, but she will because she's watching the program. Dr. Pepper Zero. I've never had Dr. Pepper Zero. I've just sugar-free Dr. Pepper. I don't know what the difference would be. It's good. It's good. I don't know why. Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper. The study just came out the other day, right? It said if you're using artificial sweeteners in order to keep from eating sugar for diets, don't bother. They said it really doesn't help all that much, the trade-off with artificial sweeteners. So this is coming from the FDA. I don't know if they are in the pocket of big sugar or not, but yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Samantha Stewart, I am very hungry. I am very hungry. What is the smartest conversation I've ever had? Wow. Wow. That's maybe one of the greatest questions anyone has ever asked me. The smartest conversation I ever had. To me, Lillian, the smartest conversation. I don't know if this counts as the smartest conversation I've ever had. I will tell you that because of my work over the years, I've met a lot of interesting and notable people. But I worked for about 5 days on about 3 days on a Gus Van Sant film. So anybody that's familiar with Gus Van Sant was working on a film called Drugstore Cowboy. And a lot of what I was doing was just PAing on a live street set, which is in Portland. And I'm sitting kind of off to the side. There isn't much that I need to do for the next hour or so. And I look over, and sitting about 8 feet from me in another chair was William S. Burroughs. And anybody who knows William S. Burroughs, I don't have to explain it, but I will explain it for folks who don't know who William S. Burroughs is. William Burroughs is a writer. Some would consider him a beat in the same context as Neil Cassidy and Kerouac and all that, but that's not who Burroughs was. Burroughs wrote about stuff that he knew, which a lot of it was about junkies, heroin, people on the street, people having mental health crises, and he did it in a very abstract way. Just a fascinating character. Naked Lunch is probably it's a David Cronenberg film based on a novel by William S. Burroughs. If you see it or read it, you will know everything you need to know about William Burroughs. And I just said hello to him. And I don't know if he was looking for someone to talk to. I had heard that he wasn't much of a talker, but he began to talk about the neighborhood that we were in and how much it reminded him of other neighborhoods that, he's like, this is interchangeable. This could be Brooklyn. This could be Detroit. This could be any number of places. And then he began to describe it in terms of a junkie and what a junkie looks for. And You know, here he is doing a film about people who rob drugstores to get high. And I'm sitting next to this incredible author who's just talking to me about what to look for in these neighborhoods to know whether or not this is a place you could cop. And while it might not have been the smartest conversation I've ever had in terms of learning about mathematics or geography or politics or anything, I learned more about my city that I had been born into and raised in. I learned more about my city in 15 minutes of talking to Bill Burroughs than I think I had ever thought about. So I will, if not the smartest conversation I've ever had, it is a conversation that smartened me up in ways that I'd never thought about being smartened up. So there you go. If you don't know who William S. Burroughs is, none of that story mattered to you at all. And that's fine. That's fine. People's lives have contexts all their own. On the opposite end of that spectrum, I did get to sit and listen to Eric Clapton talk about forks over lunch. So I did walk away from that conversation a little dumber than I had started out with. See-through water bottle. Love it. Thank you for sharing. Well, it's awfully. Super jealous, Rayshana. I'm sure if you wanted to talk to William Burroughs, that we could arrange it. I've got 3 shovels out back in the shed. We just got to go find out where he's at. Boy, oh boy, yeah, if you ever want to hear, I'm so sorry. I put my head down there and I'm not even thinking. You want to hear like one of the wildest Christmas stories you'll ever hear. There is a short story by Bill Burroughs that he did read as a poem to music provided by, and I can't think of who it was, but it's called A Junkie's Christmas. And it's phenomenal. It really is just an impressive bit of writing. I need to be more on the show more. Well, Samantha Stewart, the point of this little exercise tonight, why I'm on here tonight, is to let you know that CraftHole will be coming to this channel as a daily or as a twice weekly program during the day. So we'll start about 11 a.m., 10:30, 11 a.m. Haven't decided yet. Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you're around during the day, looking for some companionship, something to do, I'm your guy. It's me. Come hang out with me and be aggressively relaxing. I think that's what it was. If I got that wrong, let me know, because I am going to use that as the tagline of the program. Aggressively relaxing. So all of that I just painted, by the way, should be white. So let's look at this real quick just to... Yeah, you can kind of see. That's kind of in here, right? So now that sky's... it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Get to some new craft projects going, cat-friendly craft project. You know, tonight, show and tell is up. You can use show and tell. We will go to show and tell later on this evening. But what I'd like is put away the fibercraft projects tonight. Show me some other crafting that you do. That's what I want to see tonight. I don't want to... I mean, I love post pictures of your kitties and things all you want. But tonight, I would really like to see how you all craft when you don't have a bundle of yarn in your hands. What is it that you do elsewise? All right, there's another section. You know, this needs to be tightened up. These are a little loose here. Get some Bob Ross vibes. Well, I should have maybe gone to the dispensary before this program, and you'd really get the Bob Ross vibes. Monday through Thursday, you get some BK and TK. That is exactly how that's going to work. Mondays and Wednesdays, Boss Kitty Live in the evenings. Tuesdays and Thursdays, CraftHole during the day. All right, let's find another. Oh, there's a 1 right there. We'll get to that. This paint is kind of clumpy. Might find a way to mix it up before I dip my brush back in it. I got thick. You're late, Coco. You're not late. You're just in time. Let me mute my mic. Take a bite of pizza. Okay, I'm back. Oh, that was delicious. Pineapple. Is Box Kitty doing Monday, Wednesday nights at 6:30? Absolutely, Samantha Stewart. That's exactly right. Maybe because I finished my rewatch of Annihilation after I finished the book, but I'm hoping this paint by numbers turns out like the Uncanny Valley color. Maybe. I think it'll be pretty, well, regardless, it'll be cool. Didn't post anything craft related, didn't post anything fiber arts related either. All right, Rashana. That's totally cool. A little bit of water, make the paint more fluid. That's, you know what? That's an excellent point. Let's see if I can move some water over with a bigger brush. Let's do that. Just get a little water in this brush. Dip it over here in this paint. Yeah, that worked. Excellent advice. Thank you. Think about that. Excellent advice. A lot of paintbrush wiping. Pizza is good. I like peanut pineapple on pizza as well. I'm going to do one more section of this color that we are calling 1, which is actually 3 in the kit. I'm going to do one more section of it, then we'll switch over to another color. There's 1s all over the place, but I don't want to get stuck doing one thing for too long. Let's find one simple section of 1. Right there's 1. You'll let me know if that music is too loud. In my ears, it's very, very quiet. So I have a hard time telling what it's like going out over the air. But all right, one more section of 1, and then we'll do the next one. I've done it again. I've got to stay off to the side. I'll get all this figured out one day. Tell you that in my career, I enjoyed radio much more than television because you can't see me on the radio, and I like that. I like not being seen, but yet here I am. One more time, I'm gonna get to take a bite, and then we'll switch colors. Okay. There's a big section right here. It goes all the way up and around. And it's labeled number 4. So we decided there was a 10 shift, right? A 10 shift with all of these colors. So this would normally be number 4. But now it's going to be number 14. That's our 10 shift. So let's get around and use number 14 on this big section here. I'm actually going to use a brush not provided in the kit. I'm going to use a somewhat bigger brush that BK left out. Let's give it a shot. Tina, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I wish we could get pizza place with vegan cheese. Sometimes cheeseless pizza isn't great. It's not, and let me tell you, I've not had a good experience with vegan cheese. I'm not against it if it's any good, but I have not had a good experience with vegan cheese. Just didn't do it for me. So, you know, if that's for you, more power to you. I'm glad somebody's getting something out of it. Definitely turned Starry Night into a hellscape. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for the cross-processed Starry Night to be profoundly moving. I want it to be an experience that makes you think, oh my God, it was painted wrong all along, and this is the way it should be. That's what I want to hear from everybody when this is done. Oh, that's what it should have been all along. I set lofty goals for myself. Just kind of filling in the middle, and then we'll switch brushes to... It's very different painting within prescribed lines than it is, you know, just going nuts. I did it again. It's this giant hair is what it is. I get this giant hair in the way all the time. My high school had a radio class as an elective, and my brother took it. However, chose to take television production instead because there's more money in it. I mean, I worked in a prime slot in a major market in the early evenings, and I had a friend who was a cameraman at the news television station down the road. And because his was a technical job, he got paid a lot more than I did. He was in the union. He got all sorts of benefits. Being in radio provided very little except sleepless nights when you're like, boy, I should probably go in and have this giant abscess looked at on my neck. But I don't think I can afford that. And I have a shift. I can't really take it off. So radio, not like television at all. But I did prefer just kind of being in a room alone. My shift would start, I was a 7 to midnight guy mostly because that was my personality. You wouldn't want this guy in mornings. I'm not a get up, go to work fella. So I did mostly evenings in my career, which means I arrived at the building after 5 o'clock, after everybody else had gone home. I didn't have to deal with salesmen. I didn't have to deal with anybody. no management, nothing. I would show up. I would be in an empty room all night. If I was lucky, there'd be a guy working down the hall at another station. We would occasionally go out in the hall and play, you know, we'd bring a ball and kick it around, whatever we do, just to kill time. But being in that room by myself all evening was the best part of that job. What'd you bring me? Oh my goodness, I have paints and everything out. I have paints and everything out. Let me go here real quick. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. My little baby. What you doing, sweetheart? What you doing? This is my little confetti kid. My little punk monkey. She's getting so big, guys. Remember, she was just a couple of months ago. She was teeny, teeny, tiny baby. And now she's a big kid. She's 10 months old. Oh, look at that face. Look at that face. You're darling. You're darling. But you won't look anywhere near the camera, will you? Oh, what a sweetheart. Your daddy loves you more than he loves mama. Yeah. It's true. She knows it. Thank you. Bye-bye, Zuzu. Thank you for the visit. Thank you for the visit, Zuzu. Oh, thank you. All right, let's get back to painting. Number 4. She is adorable. Zuzu, for those of you who don't know, let's switch back here. Zuzu was found in a hoarder raid in the Tri-Cities area of Washington. So there were a lot of complaints from folks in the neighborhood. Jesus, I did it again. From folks in the neighborhood who said, hey, there's a house down the street where the yard is up to our necks and there's garbage everywhere and there are about 3 dozen cats just roaming around the neighborhood. So eventually they had to bring in the police and some city workers and clear out this hoarder house and evict the tenant and whatever it was that they had to do. They had to do it. And there were, in fact, about 3 dozen cats in this hoarder house. And of those 3 dozen, one little baby, one teeny tiny baby. They didn't initially know if they'd found the mother or not. They think they might have later, but the mother was nowhere near where this baby was. So she was a feral baby in every sense of the word, and very untrusting when she came home, even as a baby, even as a little baby. And I will tell you that at 10 months and having, you know, all the trust in the world, she still has tendencies like a feral kitten. One of those things is if you lay snacks down for the other cats will just come over and start chomping wherever you laid the snack down. They'll just eat it right off the floor or the cabinet or wherever you were. Zuzu can't do that. Zuzu gets next to the treat and looks up and eyeballs everyone else, makes sure that there's no one near her, puts the treat in her mouth, backs up, and then turns around and runs as fast as she can down the hall to a nice, quiet, safe space that she can enjoy her treat, where Big Kitty's not going to take it. Now, neither of our cats are going to take her treat, but that is built into this little feral baby. But boy, oh boy, she's a sweetheart. You start rubbing her jowls or under her chin, and she will roll over and curl into a ball, waiting for you to rub her chest and the top of her head, all of it. So she loves and asks for love, but she still has some hiding tendencies. Oh, and she has this one. You guys will love this one. She has stolen the same skein of mohair 6 times. It's not mohair that we're selling in the shop. It's just some scrap, extra that we had in here that were for a dyeing test or whatever. She's stolen that skein 6 times. 6 times we have hit it, and she has found it, and she does not chew it. She doesn't play with it. She doesn't bite at it. She doesn't do any of those things. She unskeins it. She unwinds it until it's a circle, and then builds a nest either under the bed or in the foot of the bed, someplace quiet and hidey. She builds a nest. So it's heartbreaking, but still, what a little survivor. What a little survivor. She's quite a character. I go to bed each night. I'm not someone who, is big on ideas of the afterlife or any of those things. I'm not a supernatural person in that way. I'm more practical. But I will tell you that I do believe in my heart somewhere that Hazel, who was also an abandoned baby, who was in a bag of kittens thrown out of a car, that my darling Hazel, even after death, has somehow directed this little baby into our lives, because she knew she'd be taken care of. So I fought the idea of having 3 cats. I fought it. But at some point, it's going to be 3 cats. And it has been wonderful. 3 wonderful cats. I wanted to go to a cat cafe one day. It's a nice way to meet your potential kitties. That is true. What did Boss Kitty have for dinner tonight? It's probably the same pizza that I'm eating. It's getting cold. I'm going to take another bite here in a second. Look at this huge section that in the actual painting would have been kind of a cream color. The way we do it. All right, give me one more second to take another bite here. And then once I finish this section, we'll move on and have a little fun. So give me just a second. Doing, I know. Diet Dr. Pepper hiccups now. This is a treated canvas, which is nice because I've dropped a little bit of water on it occasionally and just wipes right up. I'm gonna have to move the camera for CraftHole. It's not easy painting these little sections when you can't be right over the top of them. So if you have kitties, puppies, or budgies, or whatever you got, give them a great big squeeze from TK. See if there's a better way to do spin around the foot. Yeah, that's already better. So I guess I didn't look up. I asked a question earlier and I didn't look up to see the answer, but when's the last time any of you did a paint by number kit? And I promise I'll look up and see your answers this time. So hard to get the proper amount of paint on cheap paintbrushes. It's coming together though. Coming together. All my fur babies are napping somewhere. Juniper still mad at me. Had her first mat in her fur and did not like getting it cut out. Yeah, those are no fun. 3 dogs, 3 cats, Megan Myers. That is a million of each. It's not allergic. I would have multiple cats. Well, you can get hairless cats, right? There's one member of this litter, guys, our litter, their Boss Kitty family. There's a member of our family with a hypoallergenic hairless cat. I think they've actually posted pictures of her in the in Show and Tell. By the way, Show and Tell is up and available to you. Swing by the Discord and post your crafts. We're gonna try to steer away from fiber crafts tonight because, you know, we're doing something a little different than the normal Boss Kitty Live program. But I want to see how you all craft. I want to see your silly crafts. That's the important thing, is just silly, ridiculous crafts. I mean, we've done some pretty serious electronics. We wired LEDs up in a Victorian ceramic Christmas village house. But mostly what we'll do is just take silly craft kits like this one, like kids craft kits. We'll find a way to zhoosh them up, to make them a little challenging. Maybe we'll force ourselves to use glitter even though it's not in the kit, or we'll force ourselves to use googly eyeballs. In fact, we're doing this kit, if you've just joined us, by taking the paint by numbers and shifting them all 10 places. So 4 becomes 14, 24 becomes something else. We'll figure it out. But they rotate through, so we're going to have a cross-processed Starry Night painting when we're done. That's the kind of stuff that we do. It's really just about hanging out and doing some silly stuff. You don't know if you're going to learn anything here. You might learn some stuff. I know I'll definitely learn some stuff. That's not what CraftHole is all about. Alright, boy, that is a big section. I'm almost finished with that section. And then we're going to take a look at some other things going on. It is 7:40. We might go a little long tonight. Let me just get this out of the way here. That's the other thing about doing this show in the daytime, is I can go long. I've had 4-hour CraftHoles before. Not all of them were me sticking my head in the camera and screwing the autocorrect, or the autofocus. But we've had 4-hour daytime CraftHoles just because we were enjoying what we were doing. Tonight, we may go longer than the regular Boss Kitty live show would go. And that's alright. So we're just doing stupid, silly shit in the name of crafts. That's what it's all about, right? Stupid, silly shit. Alright, I got a whole bunch on that one left to go, so I'm just gonna pull out of it right now. This is a project that we will continue to do during CraftHole for the next few weeks until we get it finished. Set those aside. And then I'm gonna come back up here real quick. I'm gonna mute this. You're gonna watch. Okay, there we are. That was disgusting, but that was me eating. Really, you know what I really wanted to show you guys was the work of a Tracy Widdess. She's an artist who works in knitting and crochet. So that was my tie-in to Boss Kitty Live tonight, was to do a thing with knitting and crocheting, and it is all part of a thing we like to call D.I.Why. I don't understand why people would do this. Tracy Widdess works in a style called brutalism, and really kind of focuses on things like masks and balaclavas. Brutalism is a style of art and architecture that is more about the primary elements and then constructing via deconstruction. Usually, you know, something that just, if you see a big concrete building that looks like a big concrete box with concrete things jutting out of it, and it just looks like like an evil corporation. That's brutalism. But brutalism, when it's applied to fiber arts, gets you things like this. So let's take a look at some of. This is Tracy Widdess, Widdess. You can see it kind of on the upper right up there. So if you have an Instagram, go to Tracy Widdess, at Tracy Widdess, and follow this artist. There is a mask. So this fella right here with the person on their shoulders is an illustrator and drew this picture of this mask, and this person, Tracy Widdess, put it together. Oh, kitties, there's this. Ah, I love it. What I really like around the eyes, I don't know if you can see this, because there you go, you can see around the eyes several layers of what looks like either a loosely spun fiber or just raw fiber. These are masks. Look at this. This goat head is awesome. A little elastic tape here for a tongue, teeth going in every direction. BK, this is what I would like for the upcoming winter. I would like something like this. This is also based on someone's illustration. This one's a little more sewn. That one is hand knit. Look at this dude's nose, or not? Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to say that is hand knit. I'm just looking at some of the areas where the stitch work is not precise, but then it's also stitched over the top, and some of it's stitched in. Little critters on a plate, that's one thing. Oh, this is really neat. But this is what we're looking at. We're looking at just some of the more bizarre ideas, and really what it is just you take your basic fundamentals. So I'm going to knit a bunch of tubes in this yarn, and I'm going to knit some of these things that look like brains, and then I'm just going to throw them together, and the assembly is part and parcel. Love it. I love it. Any of you who make amigurumi, I will take one of these. That looks like a maggot with puppets on its hands, and it may very well just be a maggot with puppets on its hands. I'm all for this hot dog asking to be eaten. Well, there you go. That is Tracy Widdess on Instagram. TracyWiddess. Tracy Widdess on Instagram. Man, I love it. Good on you, Tracy. All right, so BK has walked in here and said that I have the privilege of giving you a sneak peek, a little taste of the upcoming Blue Box set, which is inspired by the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. And I told you earlier that I'd seen the yarn for Doctor number 13, which will be in the Lords of Time set 1 of this double box set. And I said that I saw the yarn and I immediately knew which Doctor it was. I didn't have to see any more than that. I'm going to do this over the top of my painting. But here you go. This is the colorway that we will call 13, and it's part of the upcoming Blue Box double box set. There you go. Look at that. That's the glitter yarn for the Lords of Time box set. I love this. These coppery colors right next to just a lipsticky red. Oh, fabulous. Let's see if you can get all that glitter in there, all that sparkle. There it is. There's the first peek at the upcoming Blue Box set. That is 13 after Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor, who just retired, making way for Ncuti Gatwa. Love that name. So there you go. It's terrific. Honestly, she's right. It doesn't really do it justice. Let me see here. I'm going to pull some music back up here. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for bringing that in, BK. I really appreciate that. So let's take a look and see what show and tell looks like tonight. Because we're going to actually cut over to show and tell. In fact, let's do that right now. We'll cut over to show and tell. And we'll just wrap up our evening. We didn't wrap it up at the regular time, but do be aware that CraftHole, this project and 100 other projects, a quiet, introspective bit of weirdness in the middle of your day. We're just going to do silly, ridiculous crafts, but mostly we're just going to chill and make sure that everything's okay. By the way, if you need to chill, if you need to zone out with me, let's do it now before we start show and tell. I want you to breathe in through your nose, deep, hold it, and exhale out of your mouth. We're going to do that 3 times. You ready? Here we go. Here we go. Hold it. So, mental stretch break. All right. Back to show and tell. Fox Goddess 108 finished some customer orders. A booby pillow not shown. Well, I want the booby pillow, so maybe post it in another section of this Discord. My embroidery wall hanging project for my brother in progress, so scared to start the brown fur. All right, so let's look at some of these. Check that out. Isn't that nifty? Whoops. Jason, your mask is so clean. That is really neat. I love that. I love the little crochet spirals. Everything is so happy. Really nifty. Love it. Very colorful. And then this is the wall art for your brother, and man, oh man, wow! Like, look at these eyebrows. Look at those eyebrows. Like they're everywhere. They're awesome. Look at this down here. It's just wow. When you're done, I have some space on my gallery wall. I could use some art. All right, here we go. Rayshana, I got some new nail polish from Mooncat. The color is blood milk. And we went to Hell's Kitchen for dinner tonight. Found out that I love foie gras. There you go. That is a lovely nail color. I like it. Looks real good. Went to a Gordon Ramsay restaurant in Hell's Kitchen. Or is this Hell's Kitchen what he names his restaurant? I'm going to assume it's what he names his restaurant. I thought you said you were eating in Hell's Kitchen. And it may be in Hell's Kitchen for all I know. I'm sure I'll look up here and find it. This is gorgeous. So there's your... Oh, God, that looks delicious. It looks absolutely delicious. I don't know that I would ever eat anything Gordon Ramsay cooked. I assume everything he cooks is bitter. For CraftHole show and tell, I wanted to show a few of my first watercolor painting in spring of 2022. That's your first watercolor painting? Damn. You have some technique in there. Your grasp of color and the way you made that color flow in areas, it's just beautiful. Really great job. First 3D print, my kid painted it for me, winter of 2021. Mine was a chicken. Did you design this as your first 3D print? Did you just put this in a CAD program and make a super simple kitten? I love that the kid painted it. It's great. And my first amigurumi, summer of 2022. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I hope you gave this to a kid. Some kid's going to cherish this for the rest of their lives. BK still has her teddy bear. His name is Mr. Bear, and he occasionally finds his way to the bed. I wake up with Mr. Bear right there. I think it's adorable. Crochet Mom Shawl Project update and a bucket hat I just started. And I surprised the kitten with a camera flash. Those thinking of a name for the kitten, so we'll get to the kitten in a second. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's so shiny. So shiny. It's neat. I don't know if that's a trick of the camera lens or if it's really shiny yarn, but that's super shiny yarn. Here's that bucket hat starting off great. It's going to be fabulous. Can't wait for you to post the finished thing. And then a startled kitten that you're still working on a name for. I love the snaggletooth there. Is that a little feature of this kitty? Is this thing going on? Well, actually, that's on the other side, isn't it? This thing going on? I think it's great. Con's got a little snaggletooth. All right, folks, if you have any ideas for names, hop in the Discord and help out Crochet Mom naming that kitten. Michaela, a.k.a. Michi's Crochet Nook. By the way, Michi, do you stream? I think, I don't remember if you're a streamer or not, but if you are, and anybody else that is, there is a streaming directory in our Discord. You can go to that channel. We only post it once. It's going to be a directory, so it's not like you post every time you go live. It's you post once, you tell us what it's about. That way people can go through, look at all the people that have shows, and then click on and check out their stuff. Anyway, Michi, my daughter's back from Disney World and showered me with gifts. Bought me goodies from Germany within Disney. I miss home so much. She knows that I'm feeling love today. Christmas in May. Is that like a gift bag or wrapping paper? That's terrific. What is this? Schon Adventure Site. The German Pavilion. Advent Site. My German is so bad. I used to be moderately okay, but my German is so bad anymore. I don't. And it's probably because I don't speak to German people. I learned German for a girl. And this is. I love this mug. This is great. They're all in Lederhosen. It's fabulous. Really neat. I'm glad you got those gifts because they're beautiful and you're gonna hang on to them for a while. Lillian Chan, I bought this little cowboy hats to make earrings. So little cowboy hats, right? Decided to break out MacGyver bead loom and make hat bands to spruce them up, and they would have looked pretty good if my loom was big enough. All right, let's check these out. Yeah, those are little tiny cowboy hats. They're great. I see this. This reminds me of the dance squad. I went to high school in Texas, in Dallas, Texas, in the middle of the Reagan 80s. And our dance squad were the bandoleros, and they wore their hats with the pearly hat bands. Let's take a look at some of these other. The little teeny tiny loom. And these are... All right, so is this a... Did you make this? These are obviously like plastic combs, right? On a box. That's the neatest setup. I've never seen one of these. This has probably got to be a project online that you looked up, or maybe somebody made it for you, but regardless, that is so cool. I'm going to try to remember this so that we can make one of these on a CraftHole and then see what we can move, move. Work out weave on the loom. Finally, there it is with the little hat band going on. Those are adorable. That is absolutely fantastic. Sammy Grandma, here's a water buffalo. Oh, there's a couple of them. Are those water buffalo? I have a hard time telling. I usually can tell a water buffalo if they're coming at me, but water buffalo butt, I have a hard time. So I'm going to take your word for it, Sammy, that these are water buffalo, and also a picture of a horse. That's a lovely horse. That horse needs to be brushed a little, but it's an absolutely lovely horse. I need to get some mud on my boots. That's what that was reminding me of. Elizabeth, a little sock progress. 4-foot 6-inch diameter telescope that I can see really deep space stuff with. I want a telescope. Hubby is making a Dobsonian mount for me. Not sure what's up with the faux crocs. So here's the sock, and it's great. It's terrific. I love that this yarn is not pooling. Like, that to me is a sign of a really good speckled yarn. It's really not pooling, and that is neat. Here's this giant telescope. I want it really bad. I worked for a syndication company in Los Angeles for a little while, and one of the guys there at the office had one of these, and we showed me the moons of Saturn, which I thought was the neatest thing. So that's the furthest I've seen out in a telescope of the moons of Saturn. And then your husband making a Dobsonian mount. Gotta find out what that's all about. Hard at work. I do the faux crocs that are killing me. Points off? Maybe. Sammy Grandma, and here's the third picture of a goat. So we got water buffalo, a horse, and a goat. I think it's great. I feel like I'm at a petting zoo. Irreverent Rat. Hi, Rat. 1, I sneakily decorated my academic advisor's office door when she was out. That is what we call in the grad student profession ass kissing. Number 2, I made my friend a tiny sword to protect her during a stressful appointment. It's dangerous out there alone. This is really cute, though. These are beautiful. I love these. You do a great job with the paper folding. I'm sure your academic advisor dug them. And then a little mini sword, which is adorable. Here, take this. It's about life size for Link, right? Emma, these are some beads I made from my grandmother's funeral flowers. Stop. What? What are you telling me with this? These are some beads I made from my grandma's funeral flowers. I just dried them out, crushed them, and incorporated them into clear polymer and baked them. Kids, we're doing funeral beads on CraftHole sometime in the next month. What an amazing idea. What an absolutely amazing idea. Now, I don't... all right, bear with me. I'm a little, socially in the spectrum. So, don't be offended when I say this, but I wonder if you could mix a little ash in the polymer clay or resin if you were casting these. I wonder if you could mix a little ash in. Interesting. All right, something to think about. I'll be looking those up. Carmen, I've been trying block printing, and I really love it because it's good. It's really good. I had a pal who was a radio partner of mine, but he was getting his MBA. He went back to school to get not an MBA, MFA, Master of Fine Arts, and his focus was on block printing. Look at that. So yeah, you get the vinyl out, you get the nibs, you start carving away. Absolutely great. If you've just started, keep it up. If it's fun, keep doing it because you're good. You're good at it right out of the box. So I encourage you to have fun with it. If you weren't any good right out of the box, I would probably disguise my critique in a compliment and tell you to keep going. But you should just keep going because you're good at it. Good job. Good job, Carmen. Ms. Monster, one of my non-textile hobbies. Ms. Monster, I know about this hobby and I love it. Making dollhouse furniture from kits. These are older. I haven't made any tiny things recently. Pen for scale. We have seen some of these before. You have posted. It's been quite a while, but you have posted some of these before. Look at these. Little rockers, everything made from little, I'm going to assume balsa wood or thin pine kits. They're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. Bubbles, back when adult coloring books were super popular, that was my relaxing thing to do. Oh yeah, jellyfish, crabs, fish going after a lotus. Really fantastic, really good. And then this is, wow, that's really nice. That's really nice. This is what I'm talking about. Find simple, silly crafts. Just because the coloring book phase for adults is past its hip prime does not mean you should not continue to do it. I love my water bottle today. Because it is relaxing and they're beautiful. Moving on. Cocoa Pie, no crafts, just dogs. That's all right. I love your dogs. I've loved your dogs for years. Yeah. I also miss Skittles. Charlie watching over evil men or women in giant vans with packages. Huey and Charlie touching butts. That's what I think of. Every time I think of these two dogs, I think of butt touching. I love these dogs, Coco. You can post these dogs anytime. I'll be super happy. Draka, some non-fiber crafts I've done. Is this diamond painting? Is that what that is? I've never tried it. I saw the kits today. I thought, man, maybe we'll get around to diamond painting. I'm going to assume that's what that is just because of the sparkle. At first glance, they look like, you know, embroidery kits, but that's really neat. I like it. Another kitty. Is this a magnet on your stainless steel refrigerator? Love them. Love them. Little orange eyes. Spooky. Super spooky. And that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you drew that or if that was on there and they just said, here's some paints, paint it. I don't know what the process is, but I will tell you that whatever the process is, the final result, top notch. Yarn Pirate's going to round it out tonight. No. One more just popped in. That's how it works. Yarn Pirate picked my embroidery back up while camping last weekend. Oh, yeah. So we saw the start of this process, and we saw it probably about, I don't know, maybe 20% done. We haven't seen it in a while, and there it is. And they're great. The colors on those birds are striking. Are they the colors they're supposed to be? Did you swap the colors out? And also, this embroidery floss down here is a darker shade than this embroidery floss down here. Is that intentional? Do those actual shades change, or are you holding it at an angle and it's shadow? And I'm just impressed by a trick of the light, because if this is intentional to go from here to here with all these colors, good on you. You're a master craftsman. Finally, frogging and philosophy. Random doodle during the live. Highlighters and pens go a long way. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, this is what I want you guys doing when if you tune into CraftHole, if you're here during the day. I mean, hang out. You know, obviously if you're in work, you can listen to me just quietly talk to you about what I'm working on, but this kind of stuff. Work on this kind of stuff. Doodle, paint, hand stitch. We're going to craft together. CraftHole is about crafting together, and not necessarily just watching someone craft or having somebody teach you a million things, because I don't know much. I know that my Diet Dr. Pepper has gotten watery over the last 2 hours, but I don't know a lot that I'm able to teach you. So let me turn off that, go back to this, and that's it, guys. It is, what time is it? Did we make it to 8 o'clock? It's 8:03. So we're going to end tonight's show at the same time that we would normally end a Boss Kitty Live. But remember, if you come and you hang out and watch CraftHole during the day, we'll probably start next week. With any luck, we'll start next Tuesday. We have to move it out a week, you'll know well in advance. But with any luck, we'll start next Tuesday. It'll be about 10:30 or 11, probably 11 a.m. Pacific time, which starts us early afternoon on the East Coast. You can come hang out with me, have a good time. I promise I'll learn to read more of the chat while I do this. But really, it's just time. You just take a little time out during your day on Tuesdays and Thursdays, craft with me. Do something simple. If it's origami, if you've never learned origami, look it up. Put it up on your laptop or your phone. Get a piece of paper out, and while you're watching me paint or do whatever it is I do, fold paper. Make me some cranes, whatever you want to do. Dip them in glitter. Stick googly eyes on them. Just craft your heart out because it's good for you. It's good for your soul. It's good for your brain. It's good for your breathing. It helps calm you down. And even when you do something silly and, say it, when you do some stupid little shit, when it's done, you've finished a thing and you can look at it and go, oh, I did that. And you instantly feel better, regardless of what's going on. You're just like, oh, I did a thing. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I was supposed to be a turkey, but it looks like a shark. And maybe the fin is on the head, but whatever. It's still great because I did it. I made a thing. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out and learning a little bit about CraftHole. CraftHole will start soon. We'll get back to these paintings and a whole bunch of other stuff. We may even, for those of you who have been with CraftHole for some time, I still have my Christmas village house down there, and that still needs to be painted because now I have a place to put up a Christmas village when the winter comes. That is a first-class doodle. Thanks for CraftHole, Emily. I hope you're here. Tina, good night, and thank you for showing up. Michi, thank you. Yarn Pirate, Coco, and everybody else that was here. I do appreciate you all being here, and I will see you when CraftHole kicks off next Tuesday. Night, night.